Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I am going to do question number 4 from the August 2024 Regents exam. It's a word problem, and basically we're trying to figure out which one of these equations models this word problem. Now, one of the things that I want students to understand, even if you're not sure how to come up with the word problem or which one is the answer, what you should figure out, what you should do is you should notice that each one of these answer choices has an equation, which means we can solve for x, and x stands for the number of nickels. And once we know the number of nickels, then maybe we can figure out what the rest of the money is going to be, because there's going to be twice as many dimes as nickels. There's going to be 12 more quarters in nickels, and we know that the total is supposed to be $28. So even if you can't come up with the equation that models that word problem, you can work backwards if you can find the intersections and see if you can figure out what the answers are. So let me kind of go through and show you kind of what I would suggest. Okay, first thing. Now, I've already kind of done this on my calculator, so I want to show you. Very first thing that I have here is I just went ahead and solved the first equation. So the first equation is 5 cents times x plus 10 cents times x plus 25 cents times x equals 28, okay? And that's not the right one, but I'm gonna show you kind of what you need to do. But what I just did is, once I did that, it told me that the x value, I found the intersection, right? I made that equation into two functions, and I found the intersection, and the intersection was 70. So that means that's how many nickels we have. So if I have 70 nickels, I didn't actually want that. If I have 70 nickels, that means that I have, that means I have $3.50 in nickels, right? Now, and we're going to figure out the rest later. But now let's go to the next one. I did the same thing. I found the intersection. And this one said I have 50 nickels. So if I go to my answer sheet, that means I have 50, which would be $2.50. Basically, I'm just multiplying 50 times 5 cents. All right. Now here's where I'm saying that it helps to graph and find intersections. So now look at the next one. The next one is 1 point. It says, hey, when I found the intersection, it says the number of nickels was 55.5555555. Now, anyone who knows word problems knows that there's no way that you can have a fraction of a nickel, right? So it's got to be an integer. So the fact that this is a decimal means, guess what? I can eliminate this as a choice, okay? But without any checking or else, I know there's no way that I can have a fraction. Now, look. If I go to the next word problem or next equation, I got the same thing. It said that there were 54.8 nickels. Now there's no way that you can have 0.8 of a nickel, so we know those two are gone. So now, without knowing how to solve a word problem and only how to graph and find intersections, I've been able to raise my chances of getting this question right from 25% with just a guess to 50%. Just doing that, just graphing has allowed me to have a better chance of getting this question right. But now I can take it all the way home. So look at this. It says that there were twice as many dimes as nickels. So if I had 70 nickels, that means I have 140 dimes, which means that would be $14. Okay, so 14 plus 350, that's going to be 1750. Now let's do the last part. It says there were 12 more quarters than nickels. So that means if I have 70 nickels and I add 12, that'll be 82. So 82 times 25, or here's how I would do it. 80 quarters would be basically $20. And then the 2 quarters that I didn't include, that would be 50 cents. So this would be $20.50. Now, if you add these, $20.50, $14.350, that's way more than 28. So I know that this is also not the answer. But look, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to make sure you understand. So now the second one said there were 50 nickels, which is $2.50, but there were twice as many dimes, which means there are 100 dimes. That would be $10, okay? And then the last one said there were 12 more quarters than nickels, so that means that there would be 62 quarters, all right? 60 quarters, 60 divided by 4 is 15, and then I would have 2 quarters left over, so that would be $15.50. Now, let's add them. $2.50 plus $15.50, that's $18. $18 plus 10 gives me 28. So I know this is the answer. I didn't do anything except graph, and then I went back to the word problem and tried to figure out how much of the other amount of money I had. Now, that's what I'm saying. When you're able to take a question that you literally have no idea how to solve, and you just use what you know, I know how to use my graphing calculator, I know how to graph, I know how to find intersections, you're able to get questions like this. That's why I'm going to keep saying graph. When you see equations, you should be graphing them. When you see functions, you should be graphing them. Graph as much as you can. I hope this problem, if you struggle with this problem, I hope you see how you can go through a different way to get an answer, just using your graphing calculator. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna post this one.